then?
Nope.
Okay, we moved to item C, council interference with city personnel.
We already did that one, man. You can check that
Geez,
sucker
we
right off.
just did that one. Item D, money received by any business owned by any council member for services rendered to the city.
Big question would be, and I did not know, the reason this is coming up so late, because I didn't know anything about this until I started digging and digging and digging. Dallin or Councilman Hyatt and Councilman Gaston have only been reimbursed for travel, which is great. Mayor has only been reimbursed for the contract with the city, and he has his disclosure statement filed.
I feel good.
It's an awesome thing.
Getting back to the reimbursement for travel, is that okay with the code of conduct?
It is. It's from the League of Municipalities and
It's only for city business, which allows it.
right. And
Was it offered to all the other citizens?
It's offered to all the
well, I don't
councilmen.
think that they need to
All
be
the other
changed to the code
citizens.
of conduct or how to be a councilman.
Okay.
According
If you
to
wanted to bring
Frank,
up that.
according to Frank Daly, who works up in Lincoln.
Who's Frank Daly? Is that an outside legal counsel?
He's the
He's the
chairman
Accountability
of the
Disclosure Commission.
Accountability.
Oh, my gosh. Thank you.
What was his name?
Frank Daly. And I have his phone number at home if you want it.
Okay, where were we?
All right.
You was discussing on the whether somebody turned in any
Disclosure.
vouchers for travel and meals, or anything like that? That was the last thing you said?
No, I just said that those two have only been reimbursed for travel. The mayor has his disclosure statement. Councilman Van Vliet, your disclosure statement's from '93. You might want to update that a little bit.
Yeah, I don't remember. I've never signed it since '93. How much is it? I've never turned in a voucher, and I'm going on my 10th year on the
No,
council.
it's for any monies you guys receive. These guys aren't self-employed.
Okay.
So it doesn't, they're not going to have business-related things. You three are self-employed, so you will have business-related things. The mayor's disclosure is up to date and current with the latest thing.
Mine last '93.
Your last one was in '93. You might want to think about
I've been selling iron to the cities for
$3,000 over the last
19
couple of years.
1970 something.
Right, but you only have to have it while you're on council. It doesn't matter when you're just
Well, I
private
didn't find
citizen.
out till 9 o'clock this morning, 20 minutes to 9 to be exact, when Jordan called me and said, oh, by the way, how the hell am I supposed to know? I don't know, nobody told me.
Let me explain a little bit of the timeline here. In 2006, the statute was changed. The statute on the accountability statute referenced vendors and providing of services is what we're talking about. And in 2006, it was changed. Or initially, before that time, it only applied to primary cities and metropolitan cities.
Right.
In 1493. It changed in 2006 to include first-class cities, second-class cities, and villages. In 2007, we had a discussion and we went over that provision of the law. Bob was re-elected to council later. After we had that discussion, there wasn't any discussion that things had changed. He had missed that whole presentation and discussion that we had. When I found out that there had been this question that had arisen, I went over and talked with Jerry and requested that she get the disclosure form so that it could be provided. Jerry was gone on Friday and Monday. I couldn't check with her. She was back this morning. We had the disclosure forms. I called Councilman Van Vliet and Councilman Phil Singer and suggested that, you know, if there were services rendered or if there was a vendor situation with a business, that they might want to get that done. So I had not talked with Bob before this morning about it. We were trying to get the form and get that done. I understand the question that you're raising, and yes, the form should have been on file earlier prior to any action. when the issue came up with the business in the, I think it was last meeting or the meeting before, I honestly didn't know that Bob there was involved with another business. That was a surprise to me. So we have handled that as quickly as we possibly could. And you know, I'm trying to assist Bob in getting that form done, and it may already be done. And you're right to raise it, and we're trying to react to it.
Yeah, I was dead on wrong with
Well,
that, but
well,
I
actually,
didn't
you
find
had-
out about it till this morning.
You have one from '93, and I don't know that it
I
covers
hadn't
or
been on the
doesn't cover.
council.
Right,
For
but
many years.
you actually have one that discloses what businesses your son owns and what businesses you own.
Well,
It's actually.
I remember we probably did. We're not hiding anything, you know.
Oh, I didn't.
We're not really.
You're right, though, it should be updated. So
The question, and again, it goes back, why did I wait this long? Because I absolutely did not know this occurred. On July of 2009, there were warrants put in for the FedEx project. And the copy of the council meeting that this was discussed didn't get copied. So I'm going off of minutes and memory, but there was a part of the project that you did, Councilman Philsinger, that I'm told that you said you were going to do for free. And then after the fact, you put in a bill for $17,813.44. We have no disclosure on it. I have no disclosure in a meeting. There's two other businesses that would have been interested in possibly bidding on that were cut out because you were going to do it for free. And I just question that.
And here was my comment, okay? The project was brought forth, and they had an engineer come to correct the drainage problem at the FedEx property. His quote to fix the drainage was around $450,000. At that time, council said, we don't feel that there's any way that the property would ever return that type of money to fix that problem. And a couple days later, I had the individual of the project come and wanted to know if I could meet with him and Gary and John out to the site, in which we met. We walked around and looked at the problem, and I come up with an idea. Okay? I talked to John, I talked to Gary about it, and I said that I think for $40,000 or whatever the number was, that we can fix this thing. And I would be glad to donate my time. And that invoice reflected nothing of my time. I charged for equipment, and I charged for my people that was out there, and I also charged back all of the materials that went into the job, which I paid for. Now, Gary, as city manager, knew this. I mean, he has the authority to allow anything under $20,000 to be bid, or to let it out without bid, as we have seen in the past. A lot of other people would like to bid on some city work when they're not given the opportunity. And you're right, I did turn in an invoice because my time was still free. I still donated all my time.
And you know, I happen to know that you donate a lot of time to this city, a lot of equipment and a lot of stuff. And I appreciate it as a citizen, and I appreciate what you do. The issue on this one is from the Political Accountability and Disclosure Act. And it goes back to exactly what I was talking about. You have to have a copy delivered to the city clerk prior to the meeting or prior to whenever you do that. It's for the mayor, city council member, village board member. Anytime you have a potential conflict of interest, you are required to prepare a written statement describing the matter requiring action or discussion and the nature of the potential interest. Deliver a copy to the city clerk or village clerk, and in which you always do abstain from participating in any voting. My purpose is to bring these things to your guys' attention so that it's done.